and welcome back to Last Minute Prep News. Very interesting question. How does our national governments behave regarding international global scenario crisis? Well, to start off, I think they'll have a certain interest of the evolution of the situation in that part of the world. What's regarding, for example, what's going on in Ukraine, which every day, every week, there's a fast escalation. And obviously the governments are, through the intelligence, are following this each other escalation or evolution of the situation. Probably from the last events, or of a nuclear event probably may occur sooner or later. The risk is high. And obviously respective governments doesn't want their citizens to panic and start buying things for survival in big huge quantities. And they won't be packing their things and taking to the road. It'll be basically a rat race or survival in a situation of crisis. And probably therefore they are very silent about things. They can keep quiet to a certain stage, but there is a certain moment when the crisis really gets heavy and it hits chronicle levels. How does one know from the signs? Well, beginning with, they'll probably start sending troops, start calling in people to the draft for military service, or start calling the reserves, training people to face scenario conflict. This is number one. Another thing is, when they start passing emergency laws, they'll start rationing fuel and food and stuff like that, curfews, martial laws, limit of travelling, conversions from civilian to military, industrial production to supply the military forces of ammunition and all the military hardware which they need to confront a possible conflict. And martial law means for citizens their civil liberties will be scrapped, and there will be censorship on the mass media to push forward each government's narrative of the war, and also will be becoming more totalitarian, more tyrant society. There will be more control respecting what people do and what people say, especially we're living in an era of mass media. Web is a very powerful tool for propaganda and for hiding things from the mass. When things really cheesy hits the fizzy, obviously the government have their own programs evacuating the parliaments, taking them to secret bunkers. And if it really comes to a nuclear missile strike, we will only have a 30-minute warning. Even there, people will panic, they hit the roads, and so on. They will advise people not to block the main roads for military use, not to overload telecommunication systems due to emergency purposes, and they say to stay in your home, not to move, stay in tune, like that public broadcasting thing in in America, New York, the state of New York, which that will be another, probably a future video. Your chances of staying there or going a bug out, the chances of survival, what it would be like. That's difficult to tell. And the problem is most people won't be prepared and they're unaware what's really going on behind the scenes regarding international scenario crisis. For now, that is all.